I've been waiting for the weather conditions to line up just like this, and I think tonight, this might be the night. So typically when we're out here on this side, it's a very cloudy area of Oahu on the east side. But today and tonight, it's looking like it's going to be clear. So we're gonna head up on this trail to catch the last bit of light on the mountains, as well as grab some blue hour shots, and then wait 4 or 5 hours until the Milky Way rises over this bay. That's a pretty crazy idea. I'm out here doing it all by myself. But the reason why, even more so, we're starting the hike early in the evening is because it's super easy to get lost in these woods over here. So I'm gonna try and stick to the trail. Yeah, this is like the best weather report for Milky Way in this area that I've seen all season long, which hasn't lasted that long so far. It's been like just a couple of months, but yeah, this is the best weather report that we're getting so far. Gotta lug up this big ass camera bag, triple tripod action, some water, as well as everything we need to stay comfortable for 5+ hours up on this ridge here. Oh man, ooh, this is heavy. This is very heavy. Water. Here we go. Hello, wild boar. Bye-bye. See you later. I don't know whether I need to take that as a sign to not do this, but the fact that it was okay with me kind of just hanging out over here, I'm gonna take it as a good sign. I'll take it as a good sign. Just needed a little bit of a water break. Already got lost like 3 or 4 times. I have no idea how I would have been able to do this in the dark. But if you look this way, you can kind of make out where we're shooting at. We've vlogged over here a couple times, I think, so it should look familiar to viewers of the channel. But look at this sky though. It's so clear. There's a little bit of clouds, but for the most part it's clear. All right, let's get moving again. I just realized that I had the mic off the entire time. Anyways, so we stopped here to photograph this little mountain peak over there. We were able to just get a little bit of nice afternoon sunlight on there. I wanted to take a quick stop because the sun is getting pretty low on the horizon. We have about an hour until sunset, so I don't think that we're gonna be able to get a full super wide shot of the bay illuminated in sunlight, but that's totally fine. But just the fact that we're able to get the last little bit of light catching that pointy mountain peak made all the effort to get to kind of like this midpoint of the hike totally worth it. So yeah, just stopped to take a couple pictures. And now we're going back to suffering on this trail. Okay, we just gotta get above these trees. Man, I'm tired, but all we have left to do is to get above this tree. Once we can get above this tree, we can stop wherever there's a clearing. We don't want to get super high up, because if we get super high up, this mountain peak is going to be low, when we want to be shooting up towards the sky. So we just got to get above this tree. Whew. Man, I'm dying out here. Just a little more. Almost there. Whew. Okay. Did it, fam. Made it. This is the lowest on the trail that we can be without anything blocking our view. Yeah, this is a nice view. Man, I'm so sweaty. Like, I feel like this entire shirt is soaked. Thankfully, I did bring some extra clothes, but that also added some extra weight, so I'm kind of debating about whether or not that was worth it. But yeah, we're here. And now we have about 5 hours until the Milky Way comes out. We're gonna just take a moment to relax and set up our cameras for our shots. I've got one time lapse, and then I'm planning on doing one panoramic shot when the Milky Way eventually rises. Can't believe we pulled this off. Now, the whole point in us getting here early is so that we can do a blue hour blend. And I've done a couple of videos on how to perform a blue hour blend, but I'm gonna, kind of reiterate the same techniques for this shot here. First step number one is, of course, get to your location during blue hour. If your Milky Way is going to rise, in the middle of the night, you probably want to get here early in the evening time so you can get it as the sun is going down or after the sun goes down, or you can get here, shoot your Milky Way, and wait all the way until the sun just comes up in order to get your blue hour shot. So there's two ways to do it. Today I've just decided to come out a little bit early so that I don't have to hike in the dark. But we're then going to use an app like PhotoPills to try and figure out where the Milky Way is positioned. So let's take a screen recording here, scroll down to night augmented reality, start the sensors, and right now you can see no such thing as Milky Way, but there's the Milky Way core low on the horizon, and we're gonna have to wait for it to rise until maybe about 11, almost midnight, for the core to get above our bay to take this shot. But a shot like this is kind of what we're going for. We've got the core rising towards the right. We've got the view all the way in the back of the valley. So of course we're gonna get one time lapse to get this whole entire thing in the frame, as well as a panorama with the main camera. Okay, so for our first shot, we're gonna set up our time lapse, and we're gonna be using the A7 IV and the 14mm G Master because it's pretty much gonna be like a wide shot of this entire valley with the Milky Way kind of rising up right in the middle. And yeah, just gonna set this up and kind of see how it goes. Now, I just hope that there's nobody that's stupid like me and comes walking up the trail at sometime tonight, because then I'm gonna have to move the tripod, and yeah, that's not gonna be fun. The key for doing good blue hour blends is that you keep the camera and the tripod in the exact same position from the time you either take your blue hour shot to Milky Way, or if you're shooting it the opposite way, from the time you take your Milky Way towards blue hour. You don't want to move the tripod and move the camera angles too much, because that makes it easier to blend in post. Let me just show you what we're working with here. We're all the way zoomed out. 14mm is going to be super ultra wide. We can even angle it up a little bit because we're going to want to capture the Milky Way kind of going up like this. Once the Milky Way core gets up here, I think we can head back down. That's going to be about like 2, 3 a.m. in the morning, but we'll see how long we stay to capture everything. But pretty much what we're going to do is we're going to capture a frame during blue hour, which is in about 12 minutes or so at ISO 100, and maybe like a pretty narrow shutter speed like f8, f11. That way we get maximum sharpness in our foreground, and then just leave the camera in the exact same position and wait until the Milky Way does come out. Then take our Milky Way shots with those same, from the same angle. All right, for this next shot here, we're gonna set up our panorama. And we're gonna set it up kind of close to our time lapse. There isn't a whole lot of room on this ridge, in complete honesty, for a lot of cameras to be. But I might have to take a little bit of a step back into this brush, sorry, to get the camera set up appropriately. It's probably the best that we can do right here. We're gonna level out our tripod, and for the panorama, we've got the Sony A1 with the 24mm 1.4 G Master. And the panorama is gonna be a little tricky because the 24mm is a good shot, but usually when the Milky Way is low on the horizon. Now, by the time the Milky Way comes up, it's gonna be well above our mountain, so it's gonna be a little bit of a challenge to get our shot here. What we're going to do is we're going to count each of our frames that we take it, because those amount of frames are going to be the same amount of frames that we need to take when the Milky Way is here. So let's just count backwards. For example, we're going to take one shot here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, etc., all the way across, and then we take the same amount of frames for the Milky Way, ensuring that we overlap just about 50% for each of these frames. Now I'm going to do this twice. I'm going to use, number one, the 24mm lens when the Milky Way is a little bit lower on the horizon, but once that core rises up a little bit higher, I'm going to switch to the vlog camera, the vlog lens, which is the 20mm 1.8, just to get a little bit wider of a view, and then hopefully we'll be able to capture, a wider angle, more of that Milky Way arch. Hopefully will be in the frame. The nice part about this little spot here is that we've got this little flat portion, and yeah, I'm kind of kicking myself because I didn't think I was gonna have this much space. I could have brought in my lightweight cot, laid it out here, and just lied here and slept all the way for those 5 hours while the Milky Way rises. But I didn't have enough forethought to bring the cot. Well, if the clouds end up rolling in and I end up missing this shot, I'll know better next time. But this is going to be our best alternative to staying comfortable up here on this ridge for 5 hours, at least 5 hours while we wait, is our lightweight chair. This is the Nemo Moonlight. I think I probably featured it in a video before, but not sure if I released that video yet. But it's just a real super lightweight chair. I think it weighs a little over a pound. When it's set up, boom, you just got a nice chair you can sit in, relax, watch the stars, wait for them to come out. And yeah, maybe I could fall asleep like this, I don't know. But yeah, this is what we're gonna be doing for the next 5 hours, is sitting here patiently waiting and doing nothing. Yes, another thing I totally forgot to mention is the moon. Where is it? There it is. It's about half moon, but by the time the Milky Way comes out in 5 hours, that thing is going to be setting all the way that way. So it's not going to affect the Milky Way core as much as, you think. It actually might help us with our composition because it might illuminate the mountains with the light. As long as it stays clear on that side, then you know, not the sunlight, but the moonlight might actually light up the mountain range for us, and then we might not even have to do a blue hour blend. So we'll see, you know, which shot comes out better, but we might not even need the blue hour blend thanks to that moon. But again, we'll see how it goes. Yeah, it's the start of a really exciting night. Hopefully the weather stays clear. I have a lot of time to kill, so I can film quite a bit to the vlog and kind of walk you guys through what I'm doing every hour. I do have a plan. You know, the first hour is just to kind of just sit here, relax, watch the stars come out. And then, you know, once darkness falls, then the real challenge begins, because, you know, as it gets darker and darker, things get a little more spooky in some ways. Now, right now, it's really nice. It's peaceful. We've got birds chirping. There isn't a whole lot of wind. But it's like that mental challenge, right? On one side of things, it's very peaceful. We're here all alone. We don't have to deal with people per se. But it's also very nerve-wracking at the same time, because now we have to enter kind of like survival mode. Even though I'm pretty sure we're gonna be totally safe here up on this trail. You know, it's just the fear of the unknown, you know, that can get to you out here in the outdoors. But you know, there's a couple of things that we're gonna do tonight to keep ourselves entertained. We've got dinner coming up when my hunger does hit eventually. We've got video games that we can play out here. We've got audiobooks that we can listen to. So yeah, I'm pretty sure we'll be just fine. We'll be just fine. Get nice and warm. But for once on Oahu, I could actually wear my favorite puffer jacket. I'm happy about that. Come on.
Getting water in the high country required to...
Okay, well, 9:30, we're about 2.5 hours in. Played a couple games on basketball on 2K on the phone, and now we're kind of just listening to our audiobook. I think we're going to listen to that for the next 2 hours or so. But, you know, kind of ironically, we are reading the book called The Comfort Crisis by Michael Easter. And if you haven't read that book, I highly encourage it. It's really good just to kind of, you know, showcase how far humans have come from basically our ancestors. Much our natural desire to seek comfort impairs our life and makes us pretty much soft in some ways. And that's another motivation for why I'm out here today, is to just try to get myself out here in Mother Nature, experience life as it's meant to be, you know, put myself in uncomfortable situations. And, you know, if I'm going to do that, I'm going to at least try to do what I love, which is photography. So yeah, definitely give this book a read if you are interested in to really challenge yourself to be better. So yeah, that's what we're trying to do today. All right, what's for dinner tonight? 10 p.m. Spam musubis from 7-Eleven. They're always my go-to snack because they're so easy to pack, and they're, you know, especially when you're hiking, you usually lose a lot of water to dehydration and stuff, so the salt in the spam musubi helps keep the water inside. Hopefully. I still have a good amount of my water left, so we should be fine. But yeah, I still have quite a bit of time up here on this ridge to go. Probably we'll start time-lapsing about an hour or so before the Milky Way comes up, just so we can get it rising. And yeah, we'll just kind of see how it goes. But everything is looking good. The clouds are holding in terms of like staying away. But yeah, it's time to break up this boredom with some food, which is nice. Good stuff, good stuff. Oh. All right, folks, we are getting close to showtime. We have about half an hour till the Milky Way comes above the horizon, and not long after that before it rises above our mountain. So we're gonna start the time lapse. There's still quite a bit of strong moonlight out, which should give us some nice shadow detail on our landscape. We'll see how long that moonlight lasts, but yeah, I'm thinking it's gonna pair well because the moon will be setting as the Milky Way is rising, so everything is looking good. Let me just take one test shot before we get going. That moonlight really does make it seem like it's daytime almost, but that's okay. Okay, the Milky Way is up now, and we do have, unfortunately, a little bit of clouds that rolled in. Now, the good news is that the clouds, when they do roll out towards where the Milky Way is, they do seem to break up and dissipate, which is good. So they're not like sticking around or gathering, but kind of as we're getting closer and closer to when we want to take our shot, we got more and more clouds rolling in. Hopefully we can still get something. All right, so our moon has officially set below our mountain peak. We can't see it anymore. Now this moonlight is still pretty strong. I tried to take a couple shots with this one, and it's really still difficult to make out the Milky Way. Yeah, I think we really have to wait for, a cloud to come over and block out all of that moonlight, or for that moon to dip below one of the mountain peaks again. But yeah, we have to really wait for pretty much all the moonlight to clear before we can get some good shots of the Milky Way core. Moonset is like at 2:05, so I'm thinking 1 p.m. or 1 a.m., 1:30 to, it's probably gonna be the most optimal time. I don't know how much of this sky you guys can see, but looking a little cloudy now. Clouds did roll in. I'm looking at the maps, and it does look like there's a break in the clouds coming up, so we might have to wait a little bit longer than I would have wanted. But yeah, hopefully we can pull this off. I mean, even with these clouds rolling through, they're kind of breaking up here and there. And I'm just keeping my eyes on it, and all we really need is that one, I don't know, maybe like few minute break in the clouds to really get our shot, to get our panorama. Now that that moonlight has pretty much dissipated, all I need is a break in the clouds, and then we'll be able to get our shot, hopefully. Oh, there's no freaking way. There's no way. Am I gonna pull this off? I'm looking above us. There's a little bit of clouds creeping in, but not much. Oh my goodness, sweet baby Jesus, guys. It is so clear right now. It's like crystal, just like how it is earlier. We are getting a nice, super uber clear shot of the Milky Way core. We're gonna do our vertical panorama, our up and down panorama, and then we're gonna do our horizontal panorama, because it is that clear. We can actually pull it off tonight. Oh my God, there's no way. I didn't think that this was gonna happen, but somehow it did. Mother Nature blessed us for just one last second. Oh my God, it's so good. In the time lapse, the Milky Way is almost at the top of the frame, but it's gonna be a great way to end off the time lapse here with this beautiful clear sky ending. Oh man, what a roller coaster of emotions. I just feel so relieved now. Like, yes, I'm ecstatic that we finally got the shot, but I'm more relieved because I know how hard this shot was to take, from walking up all the way and then waiting here for like 5-6 hours at this point. It's just, I love it when all of the hard work pays off, you know? It's just, there's no greater feeling, in complete honesty. Lesson of the day, get yourself out of your comfort zone. Use photography to get yourself out of your comfort zone. I never would have imagined that instead of, you know, doing a nice little walk-up spot for Milky Way, or, you know, or sleeping in bed, instead of out here on a death-defying ridge, I never would have imagined that I'd be out here doing exactly what I'm doing right now. And sometimes photography and your drive to capture photos and all that good stuff, sometimes it really can push you outside of your comfort zone. And that's always a good thing, because yeah, it just makes you so much more of a better person. You feel so much more alive when you accomplish something like this, when you get outside what you're used to and, you know, go out and create memories and moments like this that are just absolutely incredible, you know? Really good stuff here today. But thank you guys so much for joining me on this crazy adventure. Make sure you hit that like button and comment below and subscribe if you aren't already. And we will see you guys in the next video. Peace out. Here's proof, guys. Made it to the bottom. Did it. Safely navigated the jungle. Oh my God, I'm so happy. I am so happy.